Hello, everybody. It is Althamir. How's everybody doing? Hope your holidays went really well. In this video, we're going to be talking about apparently the Fallout New Vegas studio, Obsidian. It pitched its own Elder Scrolls game to fill the gap after Skyrim, but it didn't gain much traction. So let's dive right into it because I found this article really interesting because there was one that I covered a while back where I was like, should another studio handle Elder Scrolls? I mean, a lot of us fans, we love the Elder Scrolls franchise. We want to see the Elder Scrolls franchise, according to Bethesda, not just ZeniMax Online Studios. And the one thing that kind of gets in the way of that is the fact that Bethesda really wants to. In the past few years since Skyrim's gotten released, they got really attracted to dragging out their releases. So like we're gonna get Elder Scrolls 6 probably sometime in like 2028, they're saying. But then even the gap between Elder Scrolls 6 and Elder Scrolls 7 might be similar to Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 6, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So let's see what they had to say, huh? All right, so we could have had a Fallout New Vegas style Elder Scrolls game to pad the wait for the Elder Scrolls 6, which I am honestly surprised that Bethesda really backed down from this, considering Elder Scrolls Online was in the works during this time too, and I really think that this would have helped bridge the gap. They wouldn't have had to release Skyrim 6,000 times. That comes from Fallout New Vegas writer Obsidian alumni Chris, not even gonna try, who has taken to Twitter to claim that one of the Elder Scrolls proposals they pitched was intended to serve the same function as New Vegas did between Fallout 3 and 4, which was to provide more adventure in the setting while fans waited for the next Bethesda release. Now, the only thing I could say is maybe the reason why they wouldn't go for this is if it time wise it happened around the same time. That's the time a lot right there, but anyway, because it's rumored that Elder Scrolls 6 actually does not take place too far in the distant future after Skyrim. So maybe that's the reason why they didn't want this to be, because it's like, hey, you're basically taking our game from us. The game that you're pitching is Elder Scrolls 6, you know. I thought it couldn't hurt to try and push a similar system to what Treyarch and Activision had going with Call of Duty at the time. Bethesda could do a core release, then we release an Elder Scrolls title in the same world or a divergent timeline era before the next big push. And I see, okay, now that is, I do like that idea. Now, if I mean, there's so many different timelines, so many different eras in the Elder Scrolls games that haven't really been touched. I mean, the earliest game is Elder Scrolls Online in the second era. They could have made one in the first era. They could have actually made one. They could have made a game that maybe was around the Dragon War, which would have tied into Skyrim. Could you imagine you're finishing Skyrim, but you really want to learn more about what happened all the way back in the day during the Dragon Wars and Alduin and Parthenax? Well, now you can't, like that would have been pretty cool. Anyway, probably less relevant now that Elder Scrolls Online is going, but at the time it seemed to be something that could benefit both studios, which I do think it still would have, even with Elder Scrolls Online, because Elder Scrolls Online is a completely different game, speaks to different players. There's a lot of players who love the Bethesda single player games, who don't play Elder Scrolls Online. MMORPGs aren't for them. They like games like Skyrim and Oblivion and more, Morrowind. So part of Bethesda's unhappiness came down to this state of the RPG launched in. While New Vegas remains beloved by fans today, the game released with various issues, which is very true. It released and it really wasn't in the best of states, and it didn't really become beloved until much later. This might be something that's going to happen with Starfield too. Um, no, what's kind of funny is I believe Obsidian is actually working on their own like Elder Scrolls type of game. But we'll get into that later. His comments in reply to a story from Outlet 80 Level, which points to older comments about the pitch and others, including Fallout New Vegas 2, which I think that would have been pretty cool. I really do. Let me see. Game. All right. Unfortunately, this guy was also accused of sexual misconduct amid an outpouring of people sharing their experience, which not that great. Um, you know, probably one of the reasons why this didn't go through as well. I mean, 2020. I mean, this happened, but and the game that Obsidian is working on that's kind of similar to Elder Scrolls Online is Avowed, which I've been actually really looking forward to. That and Wayward Realms, I've been really looking forward to those two. But anyway, what do you guys think of this? Do you think that Bethesda should have given the Fallout New Vegas studio its own Elder Scrolls game, even if it was something in the lines of what they've done in the past with like the Travel franchise? Like they had Elder Scrolls Travel, which did Battlespire, and it was overall smaller games, but it was or maybe if they gave Obsidian, it's funny, Bethesda, turned down Obsidian making a game, but then they made their own with Elder Scrolls Blades. That could have been made by Obsidian, and then maybe it would have been a lot better because Elder Scrolls Blades was fun, but it also was, it was fun to a point. But I don't know. I think it would have been interesting to try it. They could have easily done so many different things. They could have focused on the Tiber Wars with Tiber Septim. They could have focused on the Night of Tears and Ishgamor coming back. I mean, they could have made a game around the Dragon Wars. They could have made a game around the first time Mirak had control over Tamriel, basically, and the fight between him and Veilok on Solstheim, or what became Solstheim. So many things that they could have allowed Obsidian to kind of run with. And it wouldn't even have had to have been a big game, honestly. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it would have been interesting, you know? Um, Obsidian, they did, I liked New Vegas, thought it was pretty decent. I'm excited for their Avowed game that's coming out. I'm really excited to see what that's going to be all about. I've kind of there. There's too many games coming out for me to solely focus on the Elder Scrolls 6. I just there's too many things pulling me away. You know, maybe when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I'll start to care more about it. But right now, I'm having fun playing other things, and I look at Elder Scrolls 6 and just go, okay, whatever. Like Bethesda's. I don't know what you guys think about these distances that they're putting in between their games. But I think it's actually hurting Bethesda more than it's helping, because if and something like this, I think could have really helped them stay more relevant in some people's eyes. Because you look at the last two games that Bethesda was known for, Fallout 76 didn't hit the ground well at all, and Starfield, same thing. I mean, Starfield is supposed to be a new IP that they poured their heart and soul into basically for better part of a decade, to get no game rewards, for people basically to pick it up and go, hey, cool. Anyway, that's not good. That's not the reaction you want, for people just to pick it up, play it for half an hour, and then go back to what they were playing. That's not what you risk, your Fallout and Elder Scrolls titles for. So this probably would have helped, I think, keep Bethesda relevant, because I think they took a hit with the last two titles they put out. And then of course the everlasting meme that is re-releasing Skyrim. So anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do hope you guys stay safe out there. I don't know if this comes out before New Year's, but There's a lot of crazy people out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe. Have fun. Try to balance it. See y'all in the next video.